Women of Substance Music Podcast, show number 500.
Get ready to discover new quality music by female artists in genres from pop to Americana, rock to R&B, and everything in between. The online music landscape can be overwhelming, which is why we handpick the very best music just for our listeners. So be prepared to discover your next new favorite artist on today's Women of Substance Music Podcast.
Hey, this is Bree Noble, and you're listening to the Women of Substance Music Podcast, where I'm playing the best music by female artists in all genres. And oh my gosh, we just hit episode number 500. I cannot believe it. When I started this podcast, I thought, I wonder how long I will survive making a daily podcast. We put this podcast out 5 days a week, and I have been doing it for 500 episodes. I think our first episode aired on November 21st, 2014. And here we are, October 19th, 2016, and we are on our 500th episode. So I wanted to do something really cool and fun for our 500th episode. So I thought I would give our artists a chance to speak and let you guys know, all the different kinds of artists that we play on our show and where they're from, all over the world. A lot are in the US and Canada, but we have people from all over the world. And we've had people with us for 1 week and people with us for 8 years. So I wanted to feature some audio clips from our artists that they sent in. And I also wanted to kind of go back to episode 0, which was my pre-launch episode where I explained what this show is and what Women of Substance is and why I started it and all that. So I'm going to weave in some clips of that, some clips of our artists, and just a fun show retrospective, kind of talking about why we created Women of Substance, why we're still here, and what we love doing for female artists. Before I get to that, I want to mention the accolades that we have received over the last 2 years, because I'm so proud of that. We have been number 1 on New and Noteworthy in iTunes. When we first started the podcast, for the first 8 weeks when you're on iTunes, you get to be on the New and Noteworthy chart. And we were number 1 on New and Noteworthy almost every single day for those 8 weeks in the music category. We also hit number 1 several times on the arts category and in the society and culture category, and we were always on those charts the entire 8 weeks as well. We also were so proud to win the Podcaster's Paradise Award for Most Creative Podcast in 2015. We received that January 2016, and we were just so excited that we got that award because we didn't campaign for it. We didn't even vote. We didn't even know they were voting until we got nominated. And then, of course, we let people know that we were nominated, and we hoped people would vote for us. But, we were just so excited to even get on the list of nominations, let alone win. So that was another thing that really surprised me. And I know that all the accolades that we've gotten are not because of me. I just sit here and tell the story of the artists. It's all about the artists that we feature, the great music we feature, the diversity of the music. And that's what I hear from all of our listeners. So keep sending in your music to our review board, and if it's quality, we will play it.
Hi, my name is Carlene Thissen. I'm from Naples, Florida. My genre is pretty mixed. As you can hear, I'm primarily sort of a folk singer from back in the day. I also do a little blues. I write some country. I write some pop. And I love Women of Substance Radio, and I'm so excited to be among all of these really fabulous women and celebrating the 500th episode. That's awesome.
Carlene is an artist I've been working with for over 7 years, so I definitely wanted to feature her first.
Hi, Shirley Goines here. I write songs in several different genres, and I am so proud to say that I am a recent addition to the Women of Substance Radio. I'd like to give a shout out to Bree for providing a platform that is so supportive as we all try to navigate this rapidly changing industry. WOS, you rock.
And then there's artists like Shirley who just discovered us.
My name is Denise Dimin. I'm a songwriter in Los Angeles. I don't sing or perform, yet I've had 6 of my mastered demo songs air on Women of Substance Radio's new music program, go into their regular rotation, and make it to their podcasts. I'm so grateful to Bree Noble for the exposure, inspiration, and innovation. Congrats on 500 podcasts and wishing you 500 more.
And we also provide a platform for songwriters who have female vocalists singing their songs. So you don't have to be an artist to be on Women of Substance Radio. It just has to be featuring a female singer or female-fronted band. So I want to get into some of the stuff that I said way back when I started this podcast. So I'm going to go back and revisit a few things that I said on episode 0. It's funny to listen to myself back then. I was so much less comfortable on the mic and I'm so much less excited sounding when I was talking. So, we can all improve, right? Hey, this is Bree Noble and I'm the founder of Women of Substance Radio and Podcast. And I just wanted to do this first episode just to talk a little bit about what Women of Substance Radio is, why I started it, a little bit about my background, and what you can come to expect on our podcast. So again, my name is Bree Noble, and I am an independent artist, although mostly now I focus on Women of Substance Radio and Podcast. I was an independent artist in mostly Christian and inspirational music from about 2000 to the present. I still do some concerts and performances, but I'm mostly focusing on the station. And the reason I started a Women of Substance Radio was because I just had met so many independent artists in my journey as an independent artist that were so talented, and they weren't getting the kind of exposure that I thought that they deserved.
Hi, this is DeDe Wedekind, and you're listening to new music from my 2016 International Music and Entertainment Association Awards Album of the Year, Dream of You. I just want to thank all the fans, all the performers and artists, and Women of Substance Radio, and congratulate their 500th episode. I've been a featured artist for over 3.5 years. Thanks so much for listening to Women of Substance Radio.
And so I wanted to create a platform where they could really get that exposure, and I could personally advocate for them and their music and find ways to get their music in the hands of the people that I think that would really love it.
From New York City, happy 500th Women of Substance Radio, and many, many more years of success. Thank you for supporting women in music and me, Grace Garland, jazz artist, singer, songwriter, producer. You're the best. Please let me get home before you fall asleep. Please stay awake a little while longer.
So when I started Women of Substance Radio, I was a touring artist, but I was looking for something to do at home on the side with, because I had small children. And I had kind of started a radio station on Live 365 way back in 2000 when it was new and it was free and you could kind of just do whatever you wanted. And so I had started this thing and I had actually called it Women of Substance Radio back then. And just because that was the kind of music I was looking for women, music by females that was really substantive in the lyrics and the quality of the music and the melody and the singing, and everything needed to be quality in my opinion. And hopefully it had lyrics that really touched you.
Hey, my name is Heather Harvin. I am from Baltimore, Maryland. My genre of choice is R&B. I love oldies and goodies. And I've been with Women of Substance for almost a year now. It'll be a year in Christmas. And the only wish that I really want is to just leave a positive legacy behind with my music, a legacy full of love and spirit and motivation. I really want to just be different in the industry and just be a light and stand out.
So that was what I was always enjoying to play for myself. So I just kind of started this thing, and it was a lot of people that I had seen and met on mp3.com, and interesting artists like Rachel Sage and who else did I have back then? But just a lot of artists from mp3.com that I liked. And so I had put this thing together and I just kind of listened to it in my office, and I didn't really tell anybody out about it. It was my own thing. And then a couple years into that, Live 365 started charging. And so I really couldn't afford to pay for that because I wasn't doing anything with it. So I just kind of let it lay dormant for about 5 years. And when I started thinking about in 2007, what could I do that would be something I could do from home that I would really enjoy? And I thought, wow, I have this radio station that I had created, and I wonder if I could find a way to make enough money with the station to be able to pay the fees to be able to use Live 365. And I wanted it to be a station from the beginning that it wasn't just independent artists, but it was lots of well-known artists mixed in with the independent artists. So it would kind of attract a wider crowd who maybe wasn't looking for independent music, but they loved, Jewel and Joan Osborne and, Whitney Houston and people like that. And they wanted to listen to that, and then they would discover these female artists that they would then come to love just as much.
Happy 500th episode, Women of Substance! I'm pop singer-songwriter Kristina Lachaga, the girl with the big pink heart. Thanks Bree and Women of Substance Radio for supporting my music since December 2015. You give a voice to female indie artists, and we love everything you do. Here's to 500 more episodes! Follow me at Kristina Lachaga on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to find out when my music will be playing on WOSR.
And so I always wanted it to be a licensed station because in order to play those popular people like Colby Calais and Sarah Bareilles, we have to be a licensed station in order to play their music. So from the beginning, I needed to raise money, and I needed to find a way to do this. And what I came up with through actually the first one I used was Sonic Bids, is that I thought, well, if I find some independent artists that would be willing to let me help promote them through these platforms, I can use the money that I used to get to review their music to consider them, and I can use that to pay for the station. And so that was the original way that I started the station.
Hey, this is Adele Morgan. I live in Wasilla, Alaska. I'm an inspirational singer-songwriter, and my latest recording is a children's album called Dance and Dream. I've worked with Women of Substance for about 3 years, and I really wanted to congratulate Bree Noble for her creative and innovative abilities to empower us to continue to do what we love to do so much. Congratulations, Bree.
And, over the years, I've had some artists say, well, how can you charge us to review your music and that type of thing? But my comeback is always, well, if you want this station to exist, I needed a way to pay for it. And that was how it started. And so I started with Sonic Bids and expanded into some other platforms of just trying to find really the best independent artists.
Hi, this is songwriter and vocalist Randi Fay from Green Bay, Wisconsin. My music is multi-genre, blending elements of jazz, blues, electronica, and rock. I'm so grateful for having been a featured artist on Women of Substance Radio since September 2014. Congrats, Bree, on reaching the milestone of 500 episodes of your award-winning podcast. Your ingenuity, grace, and work ethic are an example to us all.
And over the years, I expanded this into a professional station. We were on iTunes Radio, Roku, that type of thing. And then in the last year, we moved over to a new platform called SecureNet Systems, which allowed us to have a really awesome-looking online player and a really awesome broadcasting platform that just sounds so much more professional. And then I also was able to get branded apps for iPhone and Android. And so we are really making a move to be as mainstream as we can. And with the podcast, we're going to even get further along that path.
Hi, I'm Heather Edwards, coming to you from New York City. You can check out my music, like my sing-along song Donde Está Mi Cabeza, at heatheredwards.net. As a singer, songwriter, and pianist, I am super happy and grateful to have been able to share my music with great audiences over the last 3 years on some of your 500 episodes. And I promise to toast you again when you turn 1,000. Congratulations, Women of Substance Radio.
So that is my reason for doing the podcast. And I'm really excited about the podcast because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the music that debuts every week. We debut about 18 to 22 songs a week on the station of independent artists. We're going to be taking that music and breaking it down to, I haven't quite decided if it's going to be 3 days a week or 5 days a week, depending on how quickly I can put out these episodes. But we're going to play 6 or 7 songs in an episode, so like a 30-minute episode every day. And I'm going to try to sprinkle in a little bit of information about the artists and allow some of our artists to advertise their albums and that type of thing, and just get you the best independent music every day. So if you're on your way to work, on your way home from work, if you're in the gym or whatever, you can listen to this podcast and enjoy and learn about some really exciting new music all the time in all different genres.
Hi, I'm Leia Lisa Lee, and I sing traditional Judeo-Spanish folk song. Thanks for having me. Tu madre cuando te parió y te quitó al mundo, corazón ella no te dio para amar segundo.
And I will have personally handpicked all of it and made sure that it is high quality. And maybe it's not necessarily the most perfect production, although most of what we get is, but occasionally I'll find a diamond in the rough, and I won't keep that from you if it is just a really good song that you don't want to miss. So that's going to be our format.
Hey, WOSR listeners, and especially Bree, I just want to say a shout out, big thanks to you for playing my songs and appreciating my music on the station. It's been a great opportunity for me. I've been working with WOSR for over a year now. I think they've played 5 or 6 of my songs by now, and it's certainly broadened my fan base. I'm very appreciative. And hey guys, I have a new CD coming out very soon. It is going to be entitled The Spirits That Move Us. Thanks a lot. Hope to see you soon.
And I just want to encourage you to, if you love independent music, you want to get this every day and learn about some new artists, please subscribe. Go over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and subscribe to our podcast so it will automatically download our new episodes every day into your device.
Hi, this is Tara from Iridescense, and I'm from Long Island, New York, and our genre is pop rock. We've been working with Women of Substance Radio for about a year now, and I think Bree's really great. She's supported our music, played live, and got it good. And then we have a new song, which you can hear, called One Heart, and it's available on iTunes. So please check us out at iridescence.com.
And so just keep looking out. We're going to start out with just a lot of episodes in the first couple of weeks that we've gotten created and stored up. And we're going to keep that going for you. And we're going to even go into the holidays and get you some holiday music along with the regular music on a daily basis. So watch out for our new episodes. Make sure that you're subscribed and you can download them every day automatically.
Hi, I'm Cherise Fowles, also known as Lake Lady, and I am in California where I make new music for old souls. I've been working with Women of Substance Radio for about a year now, and I just want to say thank you to Bree Noble for being so incredibly supportive of female musicians who are pursuing a career in the music industry. And I also want to say thank you to all of you listeners for tuning in. I hope you enjoy.
And then if you are so inclined and you enjoy our episodes, please go and rate us and give us even a 5-star review on iTunes. That would be so helpful in getting us moved up in the new and noteworthy section and getting us some really good recognition in the beginning. So I want to thank you for listening, getting some information on what we do, and go right on over to our first episode of music and enjoy.
You're stronger than you know.
Hi, this is Kathleen Cruz, a contemporary folk and blues singer-songwriter and a Women of Substance Radio featured artist. Congratulations on your 500th episode. I'm thrilled to be a part of your success. I really appreciate the great support you've shown indie female artists. You're listening to my new single, Swimming Against the Tide, which was featured on a recent podcast of yours and is available on iTunes.
Wow, I haven't listened to that episode 0 since I put it out almost 2 years ago. And I gotta say, I used to put at the bottom of my emails, DJ in training, and I definitely was. I mean, I do put myself a little bit to sleep there with my monotone talking. So I've gotten much better in that area in the last 500 episodes. Before that, I was just a radio person. I mean, I would organize the playlists, but I wasn't talking on the radio. So it's totally different actually being live on the mic. And I've learned so much over the last 2 years being live on the mic and then moving into my other podcast, which is the Female Entrepreneur Musician, which is the place that I talk to independent female artists about how they're making money and a living with their music. If you haven't checked that out, it's at femusician.com, femmusician.com. We have now 62 episodes there. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. And you can also, of course, find that on iTunes.
Congratulations on the 500th podcast of Women of Substance Radio. I'm Carmen Powell of Karman and Kompany. Based in Central Arizona, our sound is a blend of country, blues, gospel, and rock. We've been working with Women of Substance since 2014. Go to kandkband.com for more. Thank you, Bree Noble, for all the resources you provide to help women succeed in the music business.
Another thing that's changed is where you can find our podcast. You can, of course, find it on iTunes and Stitcher, but you can also find it on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and even YouTube. We post on there every single day. Plus, you can find it on SoundCloud. So, there's really no excuse for not listening to our podcast. You can pretty much find it everywhere.
Hi, this is Rebecca J. Brock, singer, songwriter, guitarist in Oklahoma City. My favorite style is acoustic classic rock, and I love performing and recording classic rock covers so that I can make this my own music. I am truly grateful to all the composers who gave us this wonderful art, and I am especially grateful to Women of Substance Radio for playing my music. Rock on!
And we've started a group on Facebook for independent female artists where you can go and meet other artists, you can get help, you can ask questions, you can learn a lot of great stuff, and it's only for independent female artists. So it is a community just for you. All you have to do is go to woscommunity.com and ask to join.
Hello, this is Devora Clark from Fort Worth, Texas. The genre is folk rock psalmist. I've been with WOS for a couple years now. And as I always say at the end of my radio podcast, The Devora Clark Show, I wish you peace, salem, and shalom.
We've also created several amazing themed shows over the last few years that I want to highlight to you in case you've got some music you'd like to submit for those. We always do our Valentine's Love Songs for Valentine's Day show in February, and we do our Music with a Conscience show usually in March or April, and then we have our Mother's Day series in May. And we did the Patriotic series in July. And then we always do our covers series just on the radio station because of copyright issues. So we can't do that on the podcast. But all throughout the fall, from September through November, we've got all of our cover songs that are separated out by decade, and it's super fun. And then we have, of course, our holiday music. We're looking for music for Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's. So we've got that coming up on the podcast. Starting at right the day after Thanksgiving, we will air our first podcast episode for holiday music. Also on the radio station only, we feature Christian and inspirational music on Sunday mornings. So if that's you, go ahead and submit music for that, and we will feature you on our inspirational Sunday morning show.
This is Gail Decayanan. I am a singer and songwriter from Tracy, California. Music from my album titled Prayer Songs is available through the CD Baby website. Just search for Prayer Songs by Gail Decayanan to hear more of my music. The title track is playing in the background. And thank you, Women of Substance Radio, for your support.
And finally, I just want to thank all the sponsors of this show. You help make it possible to put on this show every single weekday. You pay for my time, our technology, my team, everything that we do behind the scenes at Women of Substance. So we so appreciate you sponsoring us with an individual episode, with the elite sponsorship, and definitely our sponsor of the month. So if you've been looking into doing a sponsorship with us, all you have to do is go to wosradio.com/advertise and check that out. We would love to have you, and we so appreciate you. I want to close by saying I am so excited for the next 500 episodes. I cannot wait. So stay tuned for some fantastic quality music by independent female artists in all genres on the Women of Substance Music Podcast.
Thanks for joining us today for the Women of Substance Music Podcast. Head on over to wospodcast.com to get links to purchase the music you heard today and to claim your free audiobook. If you love discovering new music, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button to receive a fresh new batch of music each weekday. And if you enjoy our format, please leave a written review for the show and share the link on social media. We and our artists are very grateful for your support. At Women of Substance, our mission is clear: to deliver the best music by female artists in all genres directly to you, our listeners.